Hi, welcome back to Questing Time. I'm your Dungeon Master, Paul Foxcroft, and this is episode 5, part 1. Let's get straight into it. Last session, the players had their first big sort of boss fight. They're quite injured. I think Briony's character is currently unconscious and bleeding out. They fought a big, creepy zombie guy and a bunch of other undead minions inside the Temple of the Five Faiths in Ravensholm. And when they killed the big zombie monster, they revealed inside a ghost that looked at them, threatened them, and then vanished. And that ghost had the same blue eyes that some of the zombies around town have had. And they've also detonated a mysterious crystal in the temple that seemed to be connected with all the undead. Will they ask questions about this? Let's find out. The sort of monstrous undead warrior, who Matt, I believe, you had made explode by filling with embalming fluid and then setting lights to him, has just burst, spraying sort of gore, necromantic energy, and perhaps more relevantly, flaming embalming fluid all over this temple. Rufus, the rough knight, had dived in front of one of the victims on the altar to shield him from the blast, taking a little bit of damage as you did. For which I would give you inspiration, but I believe you already have it. But if you don't have inspiration, please have inspiration.
Hey.
Claire currently lies unconscious in the front row of the church. Your blood is currently hot and sort of glowing orange, a little bit like lava, but it's not hurting you any further. And the Reverend Hardcore, I believe you are in the middle of the church, watching a glowing sort of spectral warhammer wander around, prowl about looking for more enemies. There is a guy on the altar, held in place with tethers. There is there's a couple of other hostages tied up. And like I said, a little small fires burning all over the place. The remnants of a shattered crystal lying behind the altar. And just the very briefest, the very smallest glimmer of sunlight beginning to peek through the stained glass windows behind the altar itself. What would you all like to do?
Well, should we go and rescue the guy stuck on the altar?
Hey, let's take a look outside. Can somebody check how many zombies are still walking around outside while I dust off this gnome? Oh, by the way, I've realised that both Jack Hardcore and the amazing Claire have gone full cosplay, and I can't help but think this was inspired by my own early claims to have bought something for just this very purpose, which arrived from America this week. So if you'll just give me one moment.
Yeah, sure. What are we?
Here we go.
Everyone enter. Jesus Christ!
Wow.
Now
That is a proper beard.
That's a proper beard, isn't it?
Yeah.
No mucking about, fellas. No mucking about.
All right, lovely stuff. This is a great look, everybody. I love that Rob's taking you full screen for this. Oh, that's the one thing we didn't do. Of course, Questing Time is brought to you by the technological genius of King Rob. All hail King Rob!
All hail King Rob. Honk honk.
Honk honk.
Honky
Oh, honk King Rob!
Oh, honk King Rob.
Oh.
Sounds rude. Sounds rude.
It does. It really does. Now, Richard, you wanted to go and check on the gnome?
Yeah, I still feel a bit bad because I think I told his wife that he was dead a few sessions ago.
You did. She disputed that because she had a magic item that expressly implied he wasn't. But that's
I'm
fine.
just doing my job.
Do you not want to wake Claire up?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind being woken up.
Oh, as the team healer, yeah.
How are you doing for remaining spells, Richard?
Hang on. So I've used two. Well, I've used my one for the one. No, I've used two today, haven't I? So this will be my last one.
100%. No, none of what you said makes any sense. You have 4 level 1 spell slots and 2 level 2 spell slots. I think you've used both level 2 spell slots.
So
but I think you've got a couple. You've got 2 level 1 spells left. I think.
Well, one of which will be Cure Wounds. And
It's so nice to know that you're keeping track of this.
I'm not a details guy. That's really Reverend Hardcore's kind of area.
That's
can
also
I'll
you.
do- oh yeah, I'll do Cure Wounds on Claire.
Lovely. Please, you don't have to roll for that, but you do need to roll how many wounds that you heal Claire for, as she is currently on one failed death save
Okay,
and
cool.
inching her way towards death.
Okay, it's a D8, isn't it? +3.
It literally, you have access to all of this information.
I know. I'm just confirming with you.
It is 1d8 plus 3. You are correct.
Okay. Well, I've rolled the smallest amount possible on any dice. So that's 1 plus 3. Sorry, only 4.
4. Briony, the Reverend Hardcore, places his hand upon your head, mutters a prayer to Tyr, the god of justice, and radiant white and gold glow emanates from his hand and permeates through your wounds, healing very few of them, but enough that you regain consciousness.
Did we win? Or is the afterlife a lot like life?
It's all right. We did it. Another superb team effort where we set the enemy on fire.
Ah, that is us.
Hey, when it stops working, we'll stop doing it.
It's true. I think I'm going to go, or one of us should go and head over and untie that gnome.
I'm dealing with the gnome. We just need to find out how many of those zombie bastards are still walking around outside.
Okay, but is Ruff? You just, I presume you've got like a dagger or something. You cut the gnome's bonds. He is unconscious, but stable. Although he's been tortured very badly.
Oh wait, I've got cure wounds. Can I cure wounds on the gnome? Now I'm
You can.
alive.
Oh, I should point out. Sorry, the three of you. I should point out that. Christ, well, good. The honks are working. Great. Thank you for the donations. And the follows, and the many follow. Thank you very much. Love the show. Hate the quarantine, says somebody. Says James and Eve. Good. That's the metric I like. Where was I? Right. So the three of you will have noticed that where Phillin Blanks was once stood is a ornate pot containing a rhododendron covered in grease.
What colour's a rhododendron?
You're not flowering. You're just dark green, thick dark green leaves.
Because if it was red, I could really go cosplay in a second.
All right, it's got red flowers.
Okay, wait there. I'll be back. I'm not doing much anyway.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
would you
cure.
three like to smash up the plant?
I'm gonna cure wounds on the gnome.
Okay.
1d8 plus 3. 7.
7. Great. Similarly, in your case, not golden radiant light, just pure white light emanates from your hands and suffuses through the gnome's body. With a god. What?
I'm a flower plant.
And yes, the gnome coughs and splutters. Doesn't really kind of rouse, like you've kind of gotten up and are like, yeah, did we win? What? Woo! And instead the gnome's kind of just let his eyes slowly ease awake, and he's very faint, breathing quite loud and raspy. And then, hang on, with a soft popping sound, the pot plant has vanished, and where it once was, sat on the floor, is Phillin Blanks, covered in red petals.
Phillin, you're not a plant anymore.
Oh, good, because it's getting stuffy in there.
Matt, while you were a plant,
yes,
you had what I can only describe as a dream. Oh, you were still trouserless. You had a dream, and your dream loosely went thus: you are stood alone on a hilltop. It is night, and a storm racks the countryside around you. Flash of lightning illuminates ahead of you, directly in front of you. Are countless corpses in various states of decay. Another flash of lightning and a peal of thunder behind you, and all of the corpses look up, look directly at you with glowing blue eyes. You feel a stabbing pain in your chest, and then with a tremendous gust of wind from behind you, you take one step forward, and all of the corpses lurch as one away from you, and directly towards what looks like the silhouette of a city on a hill opposite. And you realise you are in direct control of this corpse army, and you are responsible for using it to sack this city. And then, boom, there's with a pop, you are sat once again in the church, fragrant perfume surrounding you, as a series of leaves and petals are incinerated by the little fires occurring.
Oh, guys, it's so nice to not be a plant no more, but I had two very strange dreams. The first was that dream you have where you're in school, but all your clothes are suddenly on, which is weird. So I'm not one for trousers. The second one was I dreamt of this bloody great big zombie army, and I think I was in charge of them, and it was proper cool, but my tattoo didn't right hurt. And then I was here, and I stopped even thinking about photosynthesizing, which was a lot of my day for a while there. How have you guys been?
Mostly dead
Oh,
and
no.
then alive again.
You were unconscious, but sure.
I was mostly unconscious.
Actually, to be fair, how would you know the difference?
Yeah. It was like sleeping, but with more danger.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Oh,
Have
hi,
you been-
Page.
Have you been eating anything? Because you got a little bit of, just a little bit all around
yeah.
your face and
I ate
your
Ruff's
clothes.
finger.
Oh. How are you
I
with
wonder
that?
You saw that happen, Matt.
I don't remember much. I know you keep saying it's my long-term memory, but I'm not sure it is sometimes. How are you, Mr. Hardcastle? How's things?
It's Jesus. It's hardcore.
Jesus Hardcastle? I
Um,
didn't know your first name
no,
was Jesus.
That's not,
Neither
that's
did
not what I was
I.
saying.
Well, Mr. Jesus
isn't-
Hardcastle, it's nice we're on first name terms.
Yeah. Fine. Okay. Listen, Phillin, what do you think the meaning of your dream was?
I think it was possibly in the life I don't remember, I went to school with my clothes on one day.
Okay. You know what? Never mind.
You hear there's a slam, the sound of a door slamming from the front of the church.
Oh,
Okay.
someone's looking for Jesus.
Hey, he's right here.
No, please do not direct that hand to me.
For an action, I ready my great sword.
I'm
We're
gonna.
out of combat. But no need for action,
Can I-
friendo.
Can we just turn in the
You ready your great
direction of
sword?
the
Great.
If I hear a door going and I can't see who's coming through it, I'm definitely getting my sword out.
I'm gonna
Okay.
untie the other hostages.
I'm going to
Cool.
do what I normally do and go, hello, is somebody at the door?
And I'm just going to turn towards the door.
Lovely. In which case, those of you turning towards the door, you don't see anything. Actually, tell a lie. What you? Hang on, give me 1 second. Yeah, okay. So the doors to the main temple chamber where you are blown open by a wind. They slam against the side of the against the wall in the temple. Quite a loud cracking sound as they do so. And you can see out through the foyer. You can just see the sort of the skyline of the city. Smoke still billows out of the skyline from various points. You can't really see much detail because the temple's raised up. It's about 1 story up. There's steps outside. So you can see the what's the? Hang on, let me grab the map for a second. Oh, there it is. Yeah, the temple overlooks Brigstock Park, and you can see that's sort of it's basically a big field with some trees and a little lake. But you can see some figures. Oh, there we are. So you're in the Temple of the Five Faiths, just above the word Ravensholm, and you can see just directly across from you is Brigstock Park and Mark Mere, the little lake there. And you can see what looks like a couple of corpses lying down in that area.
Only a couple.
Only a couple. Briony, you were going to untie the other hostages.
Yeah.
Hooray! So there is a there are 2 humans and an elf. What the elf is dressed in the garb of a priest. One of the humans is wearing a guard's uniform, and the other human is wearing what were once quite fancy clothes, but they have the look of a clerk about them, or clerk if you're American. They have a look of a clerk about them, and all of them, I should point out, are variously bruised and battered. They're all conscious, but bound and gagged, and just literally kind of piled up in the corner. One of them is inching away from a sort of encroaching puddle of flame.
Okay. Well, I'll get the one that's nearest the flame first, so they can move more easily. Ungag them.
Ungag them. That'll help.
Yeah, but untie them and
please untie me, please. For the love of God.
I just wanted to check you definitely wanted to be untied, and I had to
we all want to be untied.
Right. Well, now I know I'll untie you all. So you shouldn't speak for other people. Just say
the other 2 immediately go.
All right, now I'm clear. I'll untie you all. I untie them.
Cool. They're all untied. They kind of dust themselves off and sit in one of the pews. One of them, the priest, starts sort of just beating out flames with some vestments she's found. I should also point that the 3 of you who are looking at the doors, it doesn't look like anyone's coming in. It just looks like a wind has picked up, and it is now quite breezy in here. Some of the smaller fires go out, but it's just a sort of gentle howl. Just out of interest, Matt, we know you're not wearing trousers. Mm-hmm. What is everybody currently wearing? What is everyone currently outfitted in? Matt, you're wearing, I guess, a shirt and no pants. Shirt cocking it, to use a term I learned of in Deadpool 2.
I was wearing a referee's outfit, I believe, a while back when we were at the tailor's.
Yes. I won't lie. I think the silk referee's costume has been ruined by a combination of your sewer rides, the repeated damage, the flames, and all the blood. So I think there's like remnants of that. What is your actual outfit beneath?
So underneath, it's more like, because it's got to be fireproof, as I'm a tiefling. It's more like an old black thing with the socks today are Labrador scientists.
Right. Thank you for the donations. Lovely stuff. Oh, good. It's still doing that thing where if you donate £1, it hogs. I thought I'd managed to change that. Right. I swear, I'm going to look into that. I will be next week upping the minimum amount you have to donate to make that fucking noise. Richard, what are you wearing? You're in armor, right?
Yes, yeah. So armor, and Jack is wearing the old city guard uniform.
What city?
The previous one that he was a member of. Where we came from?
Westgate. No, Westgate.
Yeah. Westgate.
Yeah.
It's like he sort of can't get over the fact that he's been, that he no longer works for the city guard.
Okay, cool. And Rufus, what is the rough knight wearing?
I wear a sort of it's like a leather jacket, but it's almost like a shirt, and a kilt, and heavy leather boots.
Lovely stuff. So are you bare-chested beneath this leather jacket?
There's a sort of like light cotton layer that goes between them, and it probably should be washed slightly more often than it is, but it just helps soak up some of the sweat that can occur when you're wearing leather garmentry. That's
entirely reasonable. Lovely stuff. So the 3 of you, I should point out, there's there's the remnants, right? There's like there's like a sort of oily stain on the floor where the shadows died. The corpses of 2 ghouls, albeit cut into bits, and this sort of husk. I just remember this husk of a zombie that was exploded apart with embalming fluid, leaving a blue glowing sort of electrical ghost behind that vanished in a flash of painful light earlier on. I should point out that corpse is still burning up. Who I guess Rufus would be the nearest person to that because you were the one about to dodge about the side. So I'm not going to make you roll for this. You look down, you see the corpse is burning, and it has there's a cloak the corpse was wearing, which is absolutely invulnerable in terms of flame. It's not catching fire. It hasn't taken any damage at all. That strikes you as interesting. Also, that guy had a battle axe, which is just lying on the floor next to him. Steve has Carsmile Steve. I don't know how to pronounce that. I'm not going to learn. Has asked, where is Skulks? Great question.
Mm.
Where is
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so Skulks isn't with us?
You cannot see Skulks. Would you like to make perception checks?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
definitely. We can't lose the best character.
Oh,
I-
19 plus. Dirty 20.
Natural 1.
Rich, what did you get?
It was 13, sorry.
And Rufus?
6.
6. Lovely. Before we go any further, I just want to address something in the chat that Suicidal Muppet has just said. I'm pretty sure my Chinese takeaway was just delivered by Bane. It's nice to see he's still working. And also an ideal delivery guy. He has got the mask. So Richard and
somebody order the special fried rice.
David Reed and I did discover that if you're going to do a Bane voice, it works much better is if he signs his name at the end of every sentence by saying things like oh, Batman, I was born to the back. It seems it works. However, Matt, you got a dirty 20, and who else did well? Richard?
I got 13.
13, not enough. Okay, Matt, Rufus and Richard, you don't clock anything. Briony, you look around you at the various undead bits and bobs, see some bones, and conclude that those are Skulks, and that he is now super dead. Dead. Matt, in the shadows to the left of the... Hang on. Yeah, in the shadows to the left of the altar, there is a pillar, behind which you see a cloaked figure with a bony forearm leaning out, just kind of like the skull peeking out, looking at you, just going, psst. Beckoning you forth.
Definitely casually sneak over, because we know one thing is I'm subtle. So.
Are you actually making a stealth check?
Why not? It's a 3.
Thanks for the follows, friends. A 3. Great. You scurry across the room, shouting the word stealth.
Okay. Stealth! I just feel a little sneaky.
Mercifully.
For a halfling, you're absolutely shit at not being spotted.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
Thing.
It is a gift, my friends.
Mercifully, you get there to discover that Skulks has moved and is now hiding behind the pew, having realized that you were about to give his location away. To which he's like, oh, hey, buddy, hi. Maybe be less loud? I don't know the right terms. Look, I'm going to hide because those are like regular people. And I'm a skeleton in a city that's gone crazy full of undead. This isn't going to go well.
I don't know, Mr. Skulks. When I first met you, I thought you were an idiot. But once I got to know you, I grew to warm to you, and now I see you as nearly a normal, fully grown person. So I think they wouldn't mind so much.
No, 100%. I'm convinced that if people see a skeleton under normal circumstances, they assume evil. If people see a skeleton under the circumstances of an undead plague, I will be smashed to pieces. I'm going to hide. I will catch up with you guys later.
Okay, Mr. Skulks, I owe you my life. Would you like us to try and get these people out of here so you can wander freely? And if you like, take those bodies to the mushroom people, because we owe them some of them.
Sure, I'll just take some bodies to the mushroom folks. I do not care about hanging out in this chapel. Not an issue for me.
Paul?
Yeah. Yes.
Can I overhear this? Am I close enough that I can hear this?
You can just see it happening. The halfling has drawn your attention to this scenario. You can saunter over as well.
I'm not, because I'm still taking care of the dwarf. So Claire's sort of healed him, and I'm still dealing with that. But I just want to know.
You'd have to leave him be for a bit, but that's fine. He's not terribly active.
Okay, but I can't really overhear the detail of the conversation.
You'd have to move towards them to hear it because they're not, despite the volume I'm doing, because I've just realised that Skulks' voice is me doing a sort of really bad John Mulaney, which is hard to do quietly. You can't hear that. You can't hear the salient point of that conversation. You can see the two of them chatting. You can also read. I'm not going to make you roll. You can also get a read from the body language that Skulks is trying to make a fairly simple point, and the halfling is not getting it.
Yeah, but I mean, I think as a base level, I would always assume that.
That's fair. That's fair. Evening, Ibs. Good evening, Ibsy. Claire and Rufus, so Briony and Rufus, Claire and Ruff, you are hanging around the dwarf, trying to help him out.
Well, now
I say dwarf, I mean gnome. Sorry.
No. Well, now I've seen that, because I think Skulks is dead. I'm trying to insist we have a funeral with those bones I found.
Do that verbally to the other players.
Guys, we've got to have a funeral for Skulks because he died. And I don't mean because he was already dead. He's properly dead.
No,
So-
You hold up a
Claire.
broken shin bone.
No
as
disrespect,
evidence.
Claire, but shall we no deal with the living before we start to mourn the dead?
I think when there's no danger, the best way to go on living is to mourn the dead. I don't think we can move on. I
Right,
need
well,
to
Right.
pray to the goddess of luck and do a funeral, which doesn't seem appropriate at a funeral, but it is my goddess.
What doesn't seem appropriate at a funeral?
The goddess of luck? Because surely you haven't had any if you're dead.
Everyone's luck runs out at some point.
She would see it that way.
It's weird.
So,
Can I? So at this point, Ruff just rolls his eyes and looks over to Hardcore and says, "What do you know about Arcana?"
What do you want to have a look at? The stain on the floor?
No, this keep and this battle axe. I want to know if are they mine? Can I take them? Are they going to be cursed? Whatever. I know enough all. Can you take a look at them for me?
Let me take a look.
Could
Let's
you
learn from our
also-
mistakes and not touch cursed objects.
Could you also start like a eulogy for
Um,
Skulks? I'm just going to use Ruff's beard as a tissue.
I tolerate that, but I'm looking at Hardcore like if this goes on for 2 more minutes, I might punch the tiefling.
I'll just say a very few simple words, and then I think we should move on with our lives, Claire. It's
So
what
bear in
Skulks
mind,
wanted.
Richard, bear
Yeah.
in mind that your god is Tyr, the god of justice,
Yeah.
the lawful good bastion of all that is right in the world. I would love you to improvise a funeral.
Okay. Sure thing. Now,
I'm pretty convinced that the chat would as well.
okay, great.
If the chat here would love to hear what a canonical funeral sounds like in the Forgotten Realms, with all the research Richard has done into his god from the articles I've sent him, then let's see how this looks. Let's see how this goes.
Paul?
Yeah. By the way, if the chat loves this enough, Richard, I will give you inspiration.
Holy crap. Stakes.
Yeah. Yes,
Paul,
Rufus.
would you say that ethereal music almost starts playing from nowhere?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
Not from nowhere. It's me using his shin bone as a drum.
So less ethereal music and more drumming on bones, but sure.
Okay. We are gathered here today to make our peace with the death and therefore just ending of life of our dear friend Skulks. Look, the universe may be chaotic, but ultimately it has a plan, and everyone has to pay for their misgivings and their penance, and everyone has to live by that and die by that. So whatever Skulks did that was wrong, he is currently being punished for by death. And whatever we've done brilliantly, we are being rewarded by being alive. So look, that's just the way it goes. You roll the dice, you do it right, you get blessed. You do it wrong, you die. Goodbye, Skulks. It was nice to meet you once.
Lovely stuff. At which point,
With
Briony
that,
smashes his bones together. And we see. What do you do with the bones Briony has handed you, Richard?
what do I do with them?
Yeah.
Snap them in two and just place them on the ground.
Sure.
That's what he would have wanted.
Yes. And you turn round, having snapped them in two, put them on the ground, and look up and just see Skulks hiding behind a pillar, going. Actually, it's very hard to read what he's mouthing because he's a skeleton. So it's him. He just kind of goes. He's very difficult to lip read for reasons that I think are quite obvious.
I look down at the bones, shake my head, look at Claire, and then shake my head harder.
Lovely
I
stuff.
feel it too. I miss him.
That's not what I meant.
I give him a hug.
Who hug? The Reverend Hardcore?
Yeah.
Right.
Can I try to avoid the hug?
You can. Briony, make an attack roll.
Why are all of my hugs attack rolls?
Because the amazing Claire needs to learn some important lessons about consent, apparently.
Can I add acrobatics?
Yes.
11.
11. Richard, what is your armor class?
My armor class is 18.
I'm afraid, Briony, your hug bounces off of his armor.
Stay back. I'm not good with people.
As he says that, Reverend Hardcore turns away from you and just looks up and into the wind. A single tear rolls out of his eye, and then, like in the wind, turns into the diamond. It turns into a diamond and just blows away.
It's true, because you haven't asked any of the hostages how they're doing. And with that, I turn to the hostages and ask them how they are. Now that we've briefed the dead.
Yes. None of them followed
out,
what you were doing at that point, by the way. It was mystifying. Before we get into the hostages, Rufus, you had questions about that sword.
Oh, yeah.
Did I say sword? Sorry, I meant battle axe.
Yeah, there's a battle axe and a cape, and I just want Hardcore to take a look at them and tell me whether there's any bad juju all over them.
Yeah, can I do an Arcana check?
You certainly can, Richard. Roll your Arcana.
Oh my god. 8. I'm changing dice.
Oh, before I forget, the stream. Were we into? Did you enjoy Richard's eulogy? Has he earned it? Has he earned inspiration? Let's find out.
Oh, this is quite an awkward pause.
Pensive chat symbol. Meh, says Faithfully the Grey. Yes, says Newt. Give that man a lemon, says Ibsy. There's a lot of give him a lemon, which I think we might have to turn into a GIF. There's a phrase. Richard?
Yeah. Oh, I can do that. Hold on.
Great. I'm really glad that we rehearsed this.
The only issue with
and
this
again?
is... Okay, go. The only issue is that this lemon here has been here for the last 3 weeks.
Then your inspiration may well have begun to rot. Matt.
Yeah.
Matt, so you've been chatting with Skulks, and then you turn around and realise that they are performing a funeral for him, having all of them thinking he is dead. You rattle up. Would you like to make an Arcana check as well?
Yep. Not great. Let me just get my D&D Beyond up.
What did you roll on the dice? I'm looking at Phillin's sheet now.
4.
Oh, okay. I think that's your Arcana is actually reasonably good, but it's not that good. No, it's +2 to 6. You are also kind of like you're pretty sure the battle axe and the cloak are magic items, but you're not clear on what they are.
Okay.
I'll say this, Rufus. What you can see is the battle axe has a gleaming blade which reflects it reflects more light than you feel like it should. It has a faint blue tinge to it. But it also has what appears to be exclamation marks carved into the blade. radiating out from a central point. And that central point, by the way, is an eye. There is an eye carved into the blade.
Can I have a stab at maybe a wisdom check myself to see whether, because I've got. Hang on, let me just see.
You
But
can.
I've got-
It is the house rule is Arcana checks to identify magic items, or going by the standard rules, what you can do is if you spend a short rest interacting with or contemplating the item, you can infer. You can get a sense of what it is while you attune to it.
Okay.
So at
I'm
most,
just
it'll cost you an
wondering,
hour.
is there if there are marks and things on it? Is there any way that maybe I can not know about its magicalness, but maybe its history?
Maybe it would probably only if it was like a historically significant weapon.
Yeah, fine. All right. I
if
see
it was
what you're saying.
if it was Excalibur, then yeah. But
Yeah, no.
but
I'm with
what you might find is that the carvings on it are in some way relevant to its function.
Yeah, fine. Does anybody? Oh, right. Hang on. Is anybody here good with heavy weaponry?
Not really,
would
mate.
be one
Sorry.
So does anybody mind if I take this axe?
Oh,
Nope.
it's nice of you to ask, but you have it. You're softy.
Right. Okay. Now, let me just look at the weight. Can I carry a great sword and this battle axe?
Oh yeah, you're hench as all hell. Also, I'm not going to bother with weight allowances because I like my D&D to not be accounting. Like
Right,
if it gets to the point where you're like, oh, can I carry this rhinoceros? I'll be like, no.
Yeah, fine.
Thank you so much for the repeated donations.
And now as a separate action, can I ask for those with Arcana to see if they can detect anything about this cape?
Certainly.
Oh, I've
Anybody's
got Arcana.
would anyone like to make an Arcana check?
Yeah.
Only if Rufus says, and this axe, or something along those lines.
And my axe.
Yeah.
Yes, context free.
I got 18.
18.
Ooh.
Yeah, Briony,
Yeah.
you've seen these before. You cloak. This is a cloak of elven kind,
Ooh.
What does it do?
which I believe makes the wearer all stealthy.
Guys, this is a cloak of elven kind. It makes the wearer, real stealth-like.
Well, I
Give it to
will be
Phillin.
doing that
Give it to
then.
Phillin immediately. Give it to that. Give it to the halfling.
Nope, I don't think so. Needs it.
I'm not terribly stealthy.
That's
Well,
true.
that might be something if I use that might mean we're a bit more able to sneak around as a gang.
Yeah, because I'm stealthy. I've got +4. So I say
Right.
someone else have the cape.
And I'm a natural sneak.
So
Well,
What about you, Hardcore?
I'm -1 stealth. I don't know if
You've got them boots, though. Don't forget them boots.
Right, Hardcore,
they're
you
jumpy.
take the
Oh, they
cape.
jumpy.
I pick up the cape with one hand and I just thrust it at Hardcore and go, here, put that on.
I take it gingerly, trying not to make skin-on-skin contact, and put it on.
It's nice for giving each other fashion tips, really.
Nice.
You
The
look
cloak-
really
the cloak
nice there.
feels- The cloak feels The cloak feels good, though it does smell a bit like burned undead monster.
Okay,
Probably
yeah.
will for a little bit. You'd want to air it.
Ah,
Lovely stuff. And also, Matt.
Yes.
Sorry, Rufus, you're rummaging around in the corpse. Also present in the corpse is a pearl about yay big.
Hang on, say how big again?
About that big. About 3
Oh.
inches.
Like a tennis ball sized pearl.
Yeah.
wow.
Ooh.
Which has very, very fine engraving all over it.
Ooh.
Okay, can I make a quick history or wisdom check on it?
It would be an Arcana check in this case.
Ah, fine.
Feel free, roll it. You'll be terrible at it, but roll it anyway.
Yeah, okay. Let me just see what my mods are. Arcana -1. All right.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen?
Oh, not bad though. 17.
Yep, this is a pearl of power. a magic item that allows spellcasters to regain a spell slot.
Ooh.
Ooh.
So it's like
Okay.
it's like an energy drink for spellcasting.
I, having thrust the cape at hardcore,
Yep.
and then realise the pearl is there, I don't say anything to anyone. I just look at Claire, give her a little raised eyebrow, like all right kind of face, and then just pass her the pearl.
Lovely stuff.
It's so pretty.
So, Briony, the Pearl of Power allows you to, once per day, as a bonus action, invoke the power of the pearl to basically recharge one spell slot of up to 3rd level.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Thanks, Ruff. He's...
But you need to attune to it before you can use it.
Oh, so we need to have another nap.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, as the woman bleeding profusely from her face, neck, and arms.
Said it before, I say it again. A good snooze heals everything.
That was part 1. I hope you enjoyed it. Rufus got a costume. He had a funeral from Richard, and Phillin was a pot plant there for a bit. So, you know, I mean, stuff happened. You can't say it didn't. If you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. It really helps us out with the algorithm on YouTube, which is obviously who we all work for now. Also, why not follow us on Twitter @QuestingTime. Also, buy merch. There'll be loads of links in the description. Anyway, next video's up in like 2 days. We'll see you there. Have a good day. Bye.